Well, if you're interested in qigong or Gong, probably the first thing that we usually do is actually trying to research intellectually about what energy is and about concept, yin, yang, meridians, all the mystical stuff that belongs to this very interesting discipline. And today actually I want to share something quite practical which came out from my own insight and from my own practice at the same well. And it is something I discussed with my teacher a while ago, because a while ago actually this is something you can try out even yourself. While I was drinking coffee, because I like coffee, there was like very little left in the mug, and I was just shaking it. And then while I was looking at it, you can actually see that the symbol of the Tai Chi, which is the very famous one where you have the Yin and Yang, so one full part, one empty part, appear below my eyes. And I said, okay, that's interesting. It is actually a clear, simple, practical demonstration of how these two forces give birth to life, because the manifested word actually is a combination of these two forces. It's a play of these two forces. While the manifested word, which is something we cannot really discuss, but we can investigate, and in this video we'll try to give a perspective about it, it is something that transcends the two. In fact, many people believe that the goal of the Tai Chi is just to explore the two forces. But in reality, and these two forces, we can call it matter and spirit, or sky and earth, whatever you want to call these two forces. But I came out to understand actually that the purpose is to zoom out and experience the third possibility, the third state, which even in other, let's say, spiritual traditions such as Christianity is expressed in the form of sun, spirit, and God. Even in Buddhism, which is something that I was trained for a little while in my life, we have Dharmakaya, Nirmanakaya, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Narmakaya. So basically, again, the three different states. So we have the yin and the yang, and let's call it the beyond. So that's why the title of this video was actually Yin and Yang and Beyond, because I want to discuss a little bit about the beyond for what it can be really discussed. Although it's quite something, it's something very simple at the same time, because it's part of us. We are there already. It's just that we get messed up with the content of our perceptions, that we don't experience it. And in particular, I wanted to talk about this because many people who follow this channel, on my website, on my content in general, they are pretty much attracted by the Chi emissions. Not all of them, likely, maybe for the way I am, and for the kind of people that I attract, and sometimes even natural selection take place. I have people who have around me, and students who have, let's call it, an higher purpose. So they are not just here and training with us just for the sake of doing a Chi mission, which, by the way, it is something that I'm training in at the moment. I've been doing it for a few months, very few months. I'm having interesting result. That's why at some point I think I'm going to try to actually test it outside, so with some people or with some kind of matter, so maybe I can give it a proof that I'm I have the requirement to talk about certain stuff, because we believe that this Gong path, it's just about achieving some, I call it all the time, silly superpower, which in reality it's just a demonstration of an internal process that has reached a certain degree. Let's face it. When we train in this kind of practice of the Tai Chi, which of course takes years of training before getting to that level where I'm at the moment, what happens is we really unify the three dantians. So we unify the earth and the sky, we unify the yin and the yang. This is something that in other texts also it is present, this concept. And by joining these two aspects of life, call it spirit and matter, which actually I will drop a little brackets, although I don't like to talk about this stuff, I keep it for myself usually, because it has no purpose, but it is the spirit that activates, it's the spiritual energy that activates the matter and allows to get to those vibrant and almost explosive sometimes manifestations that we see. But there is an higher purpose into this, because at the end of the day, what's the purpose of having some uncommon, extraordinary capacities, abilities, if we haven't explored ourselves fully? It still belongs, the Qi mission, to the realm of life, to what is temporary. But at the same time, I personally believe through experience, that by working in the finite, such as Qi, is probably the most subtle thing that we can perceive. We can get to know, let's call it space, or let's call it the third dimension, the third state from the Yin and Yang, the third state that it is outside, which includes, not outside, includes the two actually. And I talk about this with my teacher at some point in the past, and he totally agreed with me. He said it's not about just getting to know the two polarity, but it's to go beyond. And I want to drop something which it is related to what I'm saying, and maybe for the few people who will have a light bulb, could be a turning point. There was a point in my life during the training where we do actually the Yin Qi, which is the recall of spiritual energy. It is actually the activation of the Shen and Tian, so the third eye, so to speak, inside the brain. Nothing particular about all these points. I'm not special. I want to put it there. They're just practical things that can be experienced if we do the right, apply the right method, and we have the right also attitude, because it's a gift really that we get given. So what I was saying is that during this kind of training, which was actually the moment when my spiritual search stopped naturally. I've been a seeker all my life in terms of spirituality, experiences, mystical stuff to a certain degree. And at that point, the things just started to make sense and questions vanished. And so there was need for seeking, which is actually what takes us away from recognizing the practical, simple truth. But anyway, I was spending months and months, I remember, just sitting in a state of total bliss, like the saints. Probably I was completely blissed out for a very long period of time, and even after that period, interesting experiences took place, which we might not consider as normal, but they belong to us. And I was kind of exploring those possibilities as well. And then I realized one thing. Was, I think, one of the most important moments when I said even running after spiritual stuff, spiritual experiences, or when they actually are real, we are making up with some kind of ideas behind. When they happen, even pushing away spiritual experiences, not running after them, opens up the third possibility. So what I'm trying to say is that usually we go after, maybe this video is I'm running a bit too fast, but I'm just following what I feel to say, and if it makes sense for you, otherwise you comment below, maybe I can clarify some stuff of this video. But we tend to avoid darkness and go after the light. But in our process of growth, we even need to go beyond that, because even light is seen, and the most important thing that we can see is finding out what is really seeing those things, who is the real seer of those things, by zooming out. And this is the kind of third possibility that I'm sharing with you, almost looking like a dream, where everything appears nice or bad, spiritual or matter, yin or yang, whatever it is, put it in whatever way you want, it's seen. So for me it's still a temporary, perception. It's not the ultimate, let's say, truth that belongs to who we really are. And I came to understand at some point that even practicing qigong could be an obstacle in our personal growth, because we are there with a specific goal, or we want to achieve certain things, we want to reach this kind of abilities, we want to explore the spiritual stuff, push away the matter, and I realized that the practice itself can get in the way. So actually, if we want to know just ourselves, there's no need for practice, there's no need for nothing. We just need to stop any thought, stop any movement, and at some point, by being quiet, we will see for ourselves what it is, this mirror that is reflecting our nature all the time. That's why I titled this video Yin and Yang and Beyond, because it's interesting for sure, especially at the level that I'm at. I'm nobody. I want to put it down clearly. Compared to experiences, probably, not probably, for sure, my teacher and my teacher's teacher, the energetic level that I experience and this kind of processes, they are very little, but still they are very powerful and strong in my perception. And I think I've been moving quite fast in the path. This is what I've been kind of told and understood by talking with my teacher. And again, it's not something special. And I think it is due to my interest into this third possibility. So a very detached and honest and pure, not goal-driven practice that I'm practicing with my qigong. So, of course, increasing our energy level, it has some implication, because it allows us to experience life in various aspects. From getting to know our body parts and always improving the way that we are aware of it and what we do, to go to the more subtle stuff, so the more, let's say, spiritual manifestations of life. It is an amazing tool for sure. But at the same time, we need to go to the real thing and think that these two forces are at play within something which is not moving, which is ourself, which actually doesn't need any kind of work. And it is actually even easier to do certain energy work if we are in that state. Some people refer to this state as meditation. Meditations are no exercises. Meditation is a particular state that we are either in or not. This is not something that can be done. It's just something that we find ourselves in. So by being into this kind of perspective, which is not an intellectual perspective, which is not a personal standpoint, it's actually when you remove everything of it, you just see things in the same way, good or bad, yin and yang, life happening, not happening. You're just there, focusing on life itself, very open, focusing naturally, without effort, into what is taking place. The energy practice becomes super strong, and we move super fast. And that's one of the reasons why it is also important to activate the Shan and Tian, because the Shan and Tian, also called third eye, inside the brain, it is not only important for our personal growth, it is very important for the energy practice. And even some of my advanced students on my watch this video who haven't experienced yet the Yin Chi, I really encourage to do the other program that actually I'm going to do it the end of the month on Sunday, the last Sunday, called Quojan Dafa, which is going to be an help for the Yin Chi experience. It is very important that we activate that center, because that is where the spiritual energy connect to ourselves, let's put it in this way, and that is what is going to activate in the future the more dense formal manifestation of energy, and giving the possibility actually to do things that may look extraordinary, but they are within the human capabilities. So I hope this video wasn't just a big rush into many topics. If you have some questions, comment below or write an email. I will try to make a zooming in video where I can dig a little bit into what I expressed today. But please do this little experiment. Take a cup of coffee, whatever, when it is very little, just turn it around and just look, or even stir some kind of rice, whatever you will see. It's the same process. So the activity brings these two forces into play. And the third possibility is passivity, which is not passive, dead. It is the container. And it is important to realize that, because also will change the way that we're gonna play in life.